Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, allow me to just say some words that is personal to me as a person, as a Christian, as a Filipino, as a senator of this republic. I remember, Mr. President, na pinag-uusapan kasi yung smuggling ng bigas at nandito po si then Mayor Duterte. In fact, dun muna siya naghintay sa kwarto ni Senator Pia. And in the course of their conversation, tinawag nila ako, we joined. Then may nasabi si Mayor Duterte doon that caught my ear, no? So, sabi niya, Pia, Senator, formal siya, sabi niya, Senators, Senator Pia, Senator Alan, how I deal with criminals in Davao, I take responsibility, and one day, before God, I have to account. Not exact words, but basically ang sinasabi niya, nung na-elect siya, he has to take responsibility, and he knows there is an accounting. Few years later, September 29, 2015, hindi ko po makalimutan, lumipad po ako Davao. I asked him if he's running for president, and I asked him if I could join him. He took a piece of paper, he drew yung mga graduate ng PMA, police, and then pag nagiging colonel, nagiging militar, and then he started talking about corruption and how drugs corrupted the law enforcement, and then how it will spread sa judges, sa politicians, etc. No? Long story short, after that night, instead of asking him to run, sabi niya hindi siya tatakbo, or instead of asking him if I could run as his vice president, lumabas na lang sa bibig ko na if you run, I will be for you. If you choose me, I will campaign with you. If you don't choose me, I am now committed to you. And as we say, the rest is history. There's a lot of things that we have to account for. There's a lot of truths that have to be uncovered on the part of those who are pro-Duterte. There's a firm belief that it was to protect the human rights of all Filipinos, especially against the menace of drugs. On the side of some human rights activists, tingin nila this is some deranged maniac who just wants to kill everyone. So, yun yung extremes. But I remember, I think a year, 2 years ago, I met a pastor, nagkwekwentuhan kami. Then he said the prayer, then he told me, you know, Alan, God wants you to know that Duterte is not as good as how his supporters describe him to be. But he is also not as bad as how his detractors want him to be or describe him to be. The point is, Mr. President, we can go back and forth about history, but the wheels of justice is moving, whether here in the country or in the ICC. Having said that, I know 3 things. 1, you are presumed innocent until you're proven guilty. And all human rights activists will say, yung tunay ha, hindi yung nagkukunwari na human rights activist. Ang sasabihin po, yung humanitarian treatment. Meron po kasing nagsasabing human rights activist pero siya, bakit siya? Hindi niya binigyan ng due process at pinatay niya. I can't help but remember people like Rene Sagisag who stood tall here in the Senate na kahit anong baho nung kaso o nung issue, pagtingin niya dapat may magtanggol, pagtatanggol niya. Di ba? Kasi sabi niya, they deserve a lawyer. No matter how you think they're guilty, etc. So there are a lot of human rights activists we should and we can and we should pay tribute to. But my point is this, it is not against the tenets of human rights to allow any person, especially a former president of the country, to be under house arrest or to be under a country supervised under ICI, especially in the condition of President Duterte, who is 80 years old, who is, well, at least when he was brought there, was mentally strong. I don't really know how he is now. Pero, Mr. President, I mean, tayo, magkakasama tayo nung pandemic. You were Senate President. I was Speaker, Senate Majority Leader, was Majority Leader. Grabe po yung lungkot nung sa bahay, opisina ka lang. We were still holding office, pero can you imagine how President Duterte is coping now? So I'll oversimplify the resolution, and I know members of the Senate, especially the minority, will also speak. No, most of us here served with President Duterte, regardless whether we're always in agreement, disagreement with him. I wasn't always in agreement with him. No, but having said that, Mr. President, ang appeal lang po is humanitarian treatment, and ang appeal po is that we do it as a country. So first step ang Senate, but I'll use this podium to appeal to Malacanang. Might disagree very much with the Dutertes now, with all his children or most of his children, with some of his grandchildren, with people who claim to be Duterte diehard supporters. But again, balik tayo sa humanitarian. Pag tinakpan natin yung pangalan o yung mukha niya at ganun yung sitwasyon, tutulong ba tayo o hindi? Di ba? So, I was looking for something to read the other night. Nabuksan ko po yung isang libro saying, hindi bago nung sinabi ng Panginoon Jesucristo, love your enemies, pray for them, pray for people who prosecute you. Sabi sa Leviticus pa lang, nandun na yon. So I guess part of our struggle as a people is, how to deal with each other when we disagree politically. And again, hindi ko po binababa yung temperature. Human rights is important. All these issues should be threshed out, and it will be threshed out in the ICC. Di ba? May ICI ka na dito, may ICC ka doon. So, but one thing we don't want to do, is to see the former president suffer as if it is a punishment when he has not been convicted. So, Mr. President, this is not only for him, but it is for us as a nation. I cannot imagine what the country will do if something, I don't want to say it, but if something happens with him in the detention center at wala man tayong ginawa. So I'd like to thank you, Mr. President, the Majority Leader. I'd like to thank our colleagues that we took this up today, but I'd like to appeal to the palace na pag-aralan din nila. Just on that humanitarian, huwag nyo nang pansinin lahat ng tumitira o nagsasabi sa inyo o sa politika. Ang punto dito, he's a citizen of our country, he's 80 years old, he needs medical attention, he needs his family, he needs people to talk to. So thank you for this opportunity, Mr. President, and may I defer naman to the Majority Leader who will also sponsor this measure. Thank you, Mr. President. May I ask how my vote was recorded? Yeah, Mr. President, may I record my vote as yes, and may I brief explanation, Mr. President?
Go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, Mr. President, again, with all due respect din sa mga nagsalita before us who opposed, yung resolution po na ito, kasama lahat ng resolution po na final ng iba't ibang mga miyembro ng Senado, are within the rules of the ICC. Ilinawin ko po yun kasi parang sinasabi, ito yung mga president, ito yung pwede, ito hindi pwede. Galing nung research nyo, pero ang magde-decide pa rin yan ICC. At ang basehan ng decision nila ay hindi yung presidents ng ibang mga membro kasi iba-iba yung sitwasyon natin sitwasyon ng mga accused. So yung rules. Pangalawa po, lahat ng resolution na final natin kasama kay Majority Leader is consistent with each and every human rights convention that the Philippines signed. So what I want to emphasize, Mr. President, is iba ang vengeance sa justice Ang vengeance is an emotional impulse of someone who is a victim of injustice. In Tagalog, gusto niyang gantihan. Ang justice, hustisya, ay well-defined sa international community, and I know that as a former Secretary of Foreign Affairs. At yan po ay nakatala sa ating konstitusyon, sa international conventions, sa human rights, etc. Pati sa ICC. At pag ikaw ay hinuhusgahan pa lang o ikaw ay kinakasuhan pa lang, in fact, na-postpone yung ano nila yung confirmation of charges kasi tinitignan pa nga kung maiintindihan ng akusado yung i-accuse sa kanya. So, kasama lahat po dyan sa justice is hindi mo muna gagantihan siya habang siya ay innocent until proven guilty. Tignan niyo halimbawa ho si dating Senador Leila de Lima. Wag na yung ibang mga senador, di ba? Grabe din po ang akusasyon sa kanya, droga. Pero pumayag po lahat. Pati po ang pinakagalit sa kanya na out of humanitarian, meron siyang detention facility sa Camp Crame, no? At meron siyang cellphone at nakakapag-function pa rin siya dito. So lastly, Mr. President, I will not argue anymore whether the war on drugs was a maniac killing everyone or the war on drugs was precisely to protect the Filipinos, because replay na to Ilang beses na napaliwanag to, the facts, ilang beses na present sa international community at saka dito. Just one point, Mr. President. Nung tinignan natin yung dami na namatay nung Aquino administration, ay sing dami nung namatay nung first 2 years nung Duterte administration. Except that during the Aquino administration, through Senator De Lima, pinalitan nila yung definition ng EJK. EJK, kapag yan ay labor union, yan ay human rights leader na napatay. Pero pag ordinaryong tao na napatay, hindi EJK. Biglang pagdating ni Duterte, lahat ng patay na hindi natural causes, EJK. Pero pag kinumpare mo, there was 13 to 16,000 every year in the Aquino and even before Aquino. So again, Mr. President, we're not here to debate that. History will judge.
Precisely.
Our courts here, the DOJ will that. I just have to reply, Mr. President, kasi nga it was brought up as if yun ang dinidebate natin. Ang dinidebate natin humanitarian. Humanitarian ay walang pakialam sa feelings ng mga posibleng biktima. Kasi ang hustisya po ay bulag. Ay nakatakip po yung mata para nga walang makita, no? So even if I was a victim of a crime here, no, at masakit na makita kong magpiyansa or may house arrest yung inaakusahan ko. Kung yun ang batas at pwede, hindi po dahilan na si Alan ayaw yun. So I vote yes, Mr. President, and I thank our colleagues for putting this on the floor. Thank you, Mr. President.